felt the sun on me, made me feel something I can't explain. Something in the wind calling my name. How is it possible? I don't know. I don't know. When I held your hand, the same emotion enveloped me. Bizarre as it may seem, I thought I heard somebody say, feel the kiss of love. Know that it's real, these emotions we feel. Feel the kiss of love. Know that it's true when it happens to you. When I think of you, the world takes new meaning, and so does my life. Seems like paradise, a place for you and me at peace. I love you. I love everything. I love you. I love everything. Feel the kiss of love. Know that it's real, these emotions we feel. Feel the kiss of love. Know that it's true when it happens to you. The kiss of love. The kiss of love. I have to remember to unmute when I'm speaking. I need to remember, sorry, for all the technical difficulties. Please stand by. When I play a video, I have to mute the microphone. Otherwise, we get the weird extra echoes that were in that mix. And when I stop playing videos, I have to remember to unmute myself. It's a weird thing because I don't have like I don't have a very good streaming setup. In fact, it's running on like, it's amazing that I get to do as much as I do with it. But anyway, I digress. So it begins. Oh, Post-its. That's funny. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad all of you are here. Anyway, are you still? Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Joel says, "Did you get my email today?" I have no idea. Probably not. Oh gosh, I'm laughing. But it's not because I'm trying to insult you at all. It's just that, man, I can tell you about 15 million things I forgot to do today that are like, I'm definitely running on a string. I am. I am. I'm totally running on a string. Not just me. Little man too. He's running on a string. It's all messed up, man. All messed up. Everything is messed up. Oh, hi, Wendy. She's on a cruise ship. That's awesome. I wish I was on a cruise ship. Soon, someday. Time will tell. But hi, Roberto. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Lisa. Vadslaw? Did I say that correct? Vadislaw? I don't know if I said that correctly. Asking a question at the same time. And do you hear me anymore? Do you hear me anymore is actually a B-side. So it doesn't really appear on anything other than you can get it for free. It's on anythingbox.com. You can get it for free. It's like a little free EP that's on there. You can just grab it and it's on there. Hi, Walter, Eric, Kara. Chat's moving so fast I can't keep up now. But that's nice. There's at least 34 of you here. Back to the camera. So, a couple interesting things that have happened this week that I want to relate, but I'm going to tell you right now. The theme is sort of about technology. It started out with I have no theme, but I think the idea of how things go wrong so easily now with technology, I think that should be a good topic to at least it'll be my 2-hour rant on technology. I'm kidding, but I'm not. But at any rate, notice that I said at any rate. Who am I kidding? I'm just taking a swig. Let me knock over everything too, because it's, the way. So, a bit of news. So we're on time. It looks like the CDs will arrive on the week of the 1st of September, which is good. But I haven't done the pre-orders yet because I haven't even gotten, because Bandcamp, when you put something up like a CD, you're supposed to take pictures of the actual product. You're not supposed to do the cover only. They don't let you, which is kind of stupid because I have to do a mock-up and I forgot about that. So I have to do a mock-up of the CD, which is really annoying. Really, really annoying, which means I can't do pre-orders until I have that. So this weekend and Monday, I'm going to work on that because the albums are supposed to arrive on time, at least the CD version. Spotify and all that hits on my birthday, and on top of all the terrible stuff going on, well, it's not terrible. Look, it's first world. I mean, it's a first world problem, as I say, so it's not really anything terrible. So, J Money says, can we pre-order? You will be able to, but not yet, because, like I said, that part of Bandcamp is broken, so I can't really do anything until I do, anyway, it's a pain in the butt. But in other news, I'm still working on the book portion. 12, maybe 13 pages in now. And then the real fun starts because I have to do all the scanning of the bits and pieces. And I do have a little show and tell that I'll show you in a little while of some of the art stuff, why it's so complex, because it is sort of a complicated thing. But I'm very happy with the way it's turning out. It's going to evolve, which is a weird thing. But technology is very interesting. It's a very interesting concept, this digital age. So I guess I'll preface it this way. I have to figure out a way to do backups that isn't going to kill me, because I realized that I had lost some scans and some mixes, and I have so many hard drives, 5 of which are inside the computer itself, and I've got 2 or 3 externals, plus the little Mac, which is always floating between shows and home, and my laptop, which is on my living room table. So between all of them and the various drives that I moved back and forth between the studio and the house, I lost files, but luckily they weren't destroyed or anything. They were just lost, like I couldn't find them. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain. It took me 4 hours to find one flippin' page of the book that I knew I had laid out and color corrected and all that stuff. It was just crazy. I had forgotten to move it, and so that was one of the problems. And so it was funny because Robert and I were having a discussion this afternoon about that very subject of what happens, because someone that we know had passed, and he was a remixer guy, and unfortunately there was some water damage to his computer, and they had to take the drive and send it off to some repair place to get it, fixed and to try to get the data off of it. So he was trying to stress to me, we have to do a backup. And I'm like, yeah, in case because it all started, let me back up. It all started when I told him that this album and this book must be completed. I told him that I remember saying, to him, if anything else, if I were to drop dead tomorrow, I need to make sure the album and the book are done. That's how I'm feeling this week, I told him, because there's been so much stress to get it finished and done that it's almost as if I'm racing with time or something. And that's how it's felt. So it's been a little bit haunting and daunting. So we were having this discussion, and he was telling me I should put stuff on the cloud. And of course I was like, no, it can't go on the cloud. There's reasons I don't like putting my stuff on the cloud. So, sorry, my chat is going weird. I have to reload the chat, folks. Sorry. Something went wrong. So yeah, the chat should be open. Someone typed something, so I know you're there. Yeah, because it went crazy for a second there. But anyway, yeah, it's been a weird week trying to get everything done. And I was explaining to Robert how complex this release actually is, and it's quite. Oh, thank you all of you for being here. Awesome, the chat's coming back now. But yeah, it was this weird situation with just files and getting things done, and so it's been a I actually thought I wasn't going to stream tonight because I thought I'm not going to be ready because I have so much going on in the studio that to even clean the studio felt like an enormous task. And to be quite honest, I also missed Tezos Tuesday, which I love. And I missed buying art on Tuesday. I missed minting art on Tuesday, which sucked. But on the good side, I have enough art to last me like a year and a half now when I finally have time to mint stuff. So at least I'm happy about that. But anyway, let's play some stuff. I've got weird stuff to play today. Aside from all the, So that Kiss of Love, by the way, is something that is going to be... It's going to mean something later. But at this point in time, let me put it to you this way. I've been into doing something since the days of the Quaranstreams, which was taking things, devices, electronic wiring, whatever you want to call it, because I change it all up. But the basic idea is to create a patch or a machine that basically functions as a one-time deal. And whatever I can get out of it for that one time, that's how a song is written. And so one day when I was messing around with this, that's how I got that version of Kiss of Love, which, by the way, was the request from Alfonso. And later, I'm going to play a different version of Kiss of Love that's not even by me. So Kiss of Love goes on twice tonight, sorry. But anyway, this is a funny demo. It's an old one, and I'm just gonna play it. This is Paper Boats, and this will have the song itself is not on the album, but references to this song are on the album. And I ask myself why that is. I don't know. I don't have the answer. But anyway, here you can watch. You can watch the little man. Oh, he's calmed down a little. That's good. You can watch him while you listen to Paper Boats. paper boats. So, oh, I forgot. There's a bit of an ending to this. That was on the tape. Whoa, I forgot all about this. What a trip. I picked the right mix, that's for sure. So, so this is like one of those things where I have no idea how long this is. What a trip. Forgot all about that. So, yeah, paper boats. So, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I'm going to tell it to you now because it's been coming back to me, like to haunt me, and it's driving me crazy. But when I was in literally Catholic school, so I'm going to say this was either 3rd grade or 4th grade, and I'm leaning towards 3rd grade. Okay, so this is how long ago this was. We used to have this teacher that would bring these 16 millimeter films and show us these really cool experimental films. And I'm pretty sure that had a big influence on my visual, mental, visual inside brain thing, or my intuitive sense, because she used to play these really strange, they were really strange films. They were usually very abstract stories. And one of them that I remember distinctly was an 8 millimeter film, because I remember her telling us it was an 8 millimeter film, that basically follows a paper boat that someone drops on a stream, and the paper boat just goes everywhere until it reaches the ocean. And I was fascinated by this film, and I have not been able to find it. I mean, I've looked for it everywhere because I'm sure it's like public domain by now or thereabouts. But anyway, I have had so much trouble finding this film, but it stuck with me. And for years, it stuck with me. And I've always loved it. And so every so often, boats will show up in my pictures just like ladders do. And it's funny because now that I live in Long Beach and I can walk to the beach, there's an area of the beach where I can go to and watch boats sail by. And I love watching sailboats. So for whatever reason, this image of boats keeps coming back. And to my surprise, without me actually wanting it to be that way, it started to show up in a lot of the album artwork because they're all a series of paintings and or drawings, and they're done in a weird. The technique is very strange. I'd have to kill you if I told you how I did it. But anyway, it's a complex thing. I have to get into like a complex state of mind that you wouldn't even want to be in. But what comes out, I really don't have control over. So it's like a feverish way to work. And for whatever reason, boats keep popping up. So no, Paper Boats is not on the album. I did not re-record it. I wish I had now. But it's gotten me interested to go back and try to find the old sequence and see if I can pull it up and then mess around with it, because it was another one of those songs that was never properly recorded. So I was like, why didn't I re-record that one too? Because I've always loved it, but it was just one of those weird things, Hi, Lalo in Peru. Says, my lecture at the university just finished. I'm so happy you're here, though. What time is it in Peru, by the way? I'm curious to know the times everywhere. But yeah, and excuse my brain. My brain is fried. This week, I've worked on art and layouts, literally pushing 16, 17-hour days without stopping. In fact, yesterday, I think I pulled 18 hours. So yeah, I'm exhausted. But it's been good. It's been good. I mean, there's stuff that I want to show you. Well, maybe I will as we go through the evening. Because there's some stuff you won't even believe that it's happened. But as I'm working on the book, I actually created 3 books, which is really weird. But it's been working out that way with me. I've been working really hard. So if I'm not in the studio doing the sound stuff, I've been going right back to the art, trying to finish the darn book. Because the book is, for me, is, oh my God. So Steve says, just make sure the paper boat doesn't find its way to the sewer and a friendly clown offers it back to you. You know what's funny about that, though? Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story just for you, Steve. So when I saw that film, the 8mm film that I was talking about the paper boats, the reason it struck me so much was because in New Jersey during that time, it was the rainy season. So of course, what did I do when I was in 3rd grade and having just watched a film on paper boats? I went home and I created paper boats for me and Gary. And then what I was going to do was we were going to go out and race them. And it makes me sad that these are kind of things that kids really don't do anymore because they're tied to technology. So we don't get to enjoy doing that sort of thing anymore. We know, yep, they all float. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I did it. I made a paper boat, right? Like right after I saw the film. Talk about like influence. So anyway, here, I'll show you one of those pictures. See, so this came out of me this week and finished this. And this entire thing, can I show it? Is a book. The whole thing is a book. I have done this all week. Just crazy, crazy drawings in this weird method that I've been doing. And you think this is something? Here's another. This one's got like 30 pages. Done. Here's another. This one has 12 pages. Done. And today I finished one of the last pieces that I needed for the album. So I think I'm good. Now I just have to curate everything I've got, and I have a crate full of stuff. And what was driving me crazy, and this is why creatives shouldn't take long to make stuff, is I was starting to look at the album art and think, am I over it now? Like, should I just use one of these instead? I'm like, no. You sent a CD out. It's going to have a different cover. You can't do that. Oh my God. So yeah, I've been going crazy trying to get this stuff done. But, yeah, anyway, I digress. But I'm glad you're here with me because I need someone to talk to about it because I'm going crazy. I swear. This record's killing me. In a good way, but it's killing me. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I've been like coming in at weird hours of the either early morning or late at night onto social to just drop a note or whatever, because it's just been a bit of a just crazy stuff. Denise says, let's see a peek on book 2. Sure. Book 2 you should see a little bit of. Just a little. So, cover of book 2. And yeah, there's a paper boat in here too. Look. Yeah, it's a little crazy. There's like a lot of weird stuff in here. We're in a dark period. So I think it's reflecting that. But anyway, but yeah, all of this stuff I'm going to mint when I have time, and I will have time. I will make time. But, thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I've been trying to curate the book and try to get all my scans in and then, work on color correction, all that stupid stuff that nobody wants to really hear. But it is, you know, oh, I would love to. Dylan Rose on YouTube says, I wish you could come to Lexington, Kentucky so I can see you live. I'd love to come to Lexington, Kentucky. I'd love to just play in Kentucky, period. I think we had someone from Virginia last week too. I'm dying to go anywhere and everywhere. So, but anyway, I'm happy that I'm going to Germany next year. So that's already happening. And it does look like in November, I will be in New Jersey and Chicago. So kind of stay tuned for that too. Yes, Lalo, you are correct. The ladder is also a recurring element, which has something to do with spiders. It's how I escaped a tarantula, is via a ladder when I was young. So I think that has an influence in it. But anyway. Ah, boy. So today, like what I was thinking about was, besides the technology of like storage, which is sucking, is that idea of like, where can I put everything so people can like locate and find these things? Because there's going to be, I'm telling you, man, there's going to be, you're not looking at someone that's going to have a terabyte or two of data to go through, sift through. You have an individual that is going to have about 50 journals, probably 40 art books, probably 16, 20 drives. Not even joking. It's going to be crazy if someone has to go through all my stuff. So I feel bad for him. So I have to try to figure it out, because as I get older, I keep thinking, wow, like what happens if, you know, I move on to that next level and whatever that is, lower or higher. But, you know, I don't know what shows up, J Money. Tell me. You Googled Paper Boat's 8mm videos and you know what shows up. Porn? Because I haven't found it. But if you find it, send me the link. I will look at any film, anything that has to do with paper boats that's on 8mm film, because I saw it. Oh, it. Yeah, of course. That's the only thing I ever find when I look for it. And I've looked for it for years. For years I've been looking for this movie. And so since I don't know its title, it is almost impossible to find. But I hope to find it one day. But if not, I will have to make my own paper boat movie. I will have to do it. I have to anyway, for a different reason. But that's, oh, shoot. Man, I'm going to be drank by tonight. So the other thing I was talking about today, or contemplating, was playing other people's stuff. And so, because sometimes when I say give me requests, people like will send me something like, oh, play New Order or play this. And I'm like, it's not a DJ set. I wish it was. In a weird way, I wish it was, because it would make my life a lot easier, because then I would just curate stuff based on all my favorite songs and pull stuff from the 60s and 70s on top of that and throw it in there. And I would love it. I would love to have my own radio show. That's something I would actually like. Because I think I'd find the weird stuff. But I've been thinking that maybe what I'll do is I'll start playing bands from Bandcamp that I've collected and just reach out to them and see if they'll let me play their stuff. And maybe that'll be an interesting thing to do on the Quaranstreams. At least feature one or two people a week or something. Because I'd like to. I don't like just playing ABOX stuff or the diary just because, you know, it just feels, I don't know, self-indulgent, narcissistic to just play my own stuff. But it's what we, you know, like, this is all I can get away with, because anything else gets, you know. So a little late, J Money. I think it was too late. When did you request it? Because I looked at 5, I couldn't see anything. But yeah, I think you'll have to wait for next week for that one. Yeah, I wish there was. There is no remix for that song. That song is like, it is what it is. But maybe we can find an acoustic version or something for next week. I'll take an extra look. But this one's from a tape that also was an NFT, and 17 people own this, but you could still download it for free. But that doesn't mean that, well, it just means you can download it and you can have it, but has no value compared to the 17 people who have it. Kara says, random question. I was at the LA show and loved your synth pop AF shirt. Where did you get it? Mai's husband made it. You can reach out to Mai, or she's on X and she's on Facebook, and reach out to her because that's where I got it. It was a gift, and yeah, a lot of people like that shirt. It was the inspiration for the ABOX F shirt. So yeah, for sure. Anyway, I've got a request. Sorry, let me look and see if I can even read my own handwriting here. So Alfonso did Kiss of Love, got that. And oh yeah, that's right, this one. Okay, cool. So Sherry Bell had requested on Instagram, I believe it was, The Restless Girl, which is on this little mixtape. Here, I'll show you the mixtape, because this way I can like shill my own stuff, as it were. So this is a mixtape that I had done called Consequence of Time. The ABOX demos 1987 to 1989. It was an NFT. But yes, if you go to the page, here, I'll actually link it, just because I'm going to be nice to those of you who don't support my NFT stuff, but it's okay. I still love you. That's the link. So if you go to that link and you go next to the little speaker icon, which I can't show you because my mouse doesn't show up, but it's there, and you can see it says download, and it'll let you download it. But that doesn't mean you have the NFT. You just have the recording. So the NFT is reserved for these people who collected it. And I thank all of you who have it. And you guys will get perks at some point in time. Believe me, you shall. But anyway, yeah, I digress. It's that kind of an evening. It's good though. The Restless Girl. And here, you get to watch the little man just go crazy again, just because it's silly and dumb. Life is good. The Restless Girl. Oh, 1989. Oh, man. I was thinking about that one too. Well, you see, I can go through like lots and lots of hard drives and find old stuff that I've transferred over and, you know, go and re-record stuff. But of course, that's not fun. So it takes time to like sift through these things and decide whether you're going to do it or not and how you're going to record it, or if it's even worth doing, because are you going to play it live, you know? So there's always that too. But this one was definitely on my mind this week, as was this. So I had the link, and unfortunately, oh no, I do have the link. So this is funny. So this was a scientific paper that was published this week. It begins with the following premise. It says, a non-logical aggregation-diffusion model with multiplicative noise may exist, proving the local existence and uniqueness of strong solutions in higher dimensions. Do you even understand that? I found that really difficult to understand. But in breaking it all down, the following stood out. Proving the local existence and uniqueness of strong solutions in higher dimensions. Yeah. So basically science in 2024 basically just put a paper out on the little man. And all I had to do would have been just to ask, and I would have been like, he's right there. There is, right there. That guy right there. Right there. That's your non-local aggregation-diffusion model with multiplicative noise that exists, proving the local existence and uniqueness of strong solutions in higher dimensions. He's right there. He's right there. Oh my God, it was so funny. Anyway, I'm going to link the paper because I tried reading it, and I swear this has to be a joke perpetrated on science, because it makes no sense whatsoever. It just goes around in circles. But I thought it would be funny if you guys read it and then told me, yes, exactly. Techno jibber jabber. All it is how we found the fifth dimension, as you say, Sammy. Oh my God. And all they had to do was ask, and I was it's a little man. It's easy. He's right there. Oh man. Anyway, you all have a little man or the little woman, whatever you want to call it, the little thing, the spirit. We all have it. Oh my God. Robert Reith says, that was great. Got to go work tomorrow at 6:30. Have good sleep, man. We will see you next week, hopefully. But yeah, anyway, funny stuff. So I was flabbergasted at trying to read it. Exactly. Hyperspace, 10 to 12 dimensions while living in 4D space-time. And it's like, we can access these things. We were designed to access them. That's the whole point. But anyway, it was funny. So science is going to back up my last two streams about subconscious and superconscious and the other realms, because at least now we know that science is like, they're discovering this stuff. It's official now. 2 and 2 could be put together and, somehow in a different dimension, it takes care of problems for us. Probably. Joseph says, mediocre ad copy for a mediocre new product. Probably. You're probably right. It's probably going to be some little weird widget thing, AI-powered radio or something. So, well, according to, oh man, I wish I had the story. Sammy says, only 11 dimensions. Some are mental. According to this, what would I call her? She was a technologist. She was very renowned. She was going to put out this amazing product. She went on some sabbatical and they found her dead in her car. And the last message to her mom was that we live in a simulation and that there's 17 different realities. And she had been given this, basically that someone had opened the door so she could see it, and it drove her crazy and it killed her. I don't remember her name, but I will find the video and I will post it somehow this week because it was interesting. I found that interesting. But supposedly it's 17 dimensions of reality. Yeah, and she saw them, and for whatever reason, they killed her. But personally, I've only discovered 3, and I think the 3 that I've played around in are pretty crazy already. So I'll stick to the 3 I know. It makes for really interesting dreams, the ones I've visited in my dreams. So I like them. But I don't think I want to catalog the other ones. Right, so 16 is the limit on our sanity. Got it. That's what Maya said. I think so. I know, right? It should be 18, not 17. 18 would be the correct number. I have my own reasons for that, but 18 should be the correct number. I think dreams do have sort of a, anyway. I'm digressing back and forth. Oh boy, it's going to be great. And I'm trying to be slow with this. It's all 19. You know that, don't you? Anyway, I'm going to play 2 songs that are ABOX songs, but done by other people, which will totally make my life better. But this is T for 2 doing Life is Fun. And I was listening to this one today, and I really, really like this mix a lot. And I think the next time T for 2 and I play together, I should try to convince them to do this song with me. I might do it. I might be able to do it. I don't know. Tell Will and Jay to do this with me. Anyway, because I think it would be fun. But anyway, life is fun, as it were. And we'll turn the visuals on this time. And that way you won't have to see my strange room. I am loving the new curtains. I am.
of a lover and it's wonderful. Just when you want to let it go, everything in you knows all the world is at your feet again. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody loves somebody. Don't you know by now that life is fun? Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun. Can't you see that the world is gonna turn and that it's practical? So it has for 1,000,000 years or so, and that is magical. Just when the days seem much too long, feel the open air. Let the sun reach out to you again. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody loves somebody. Don't you know by now that life is fun? Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody loves somebody. Don't you know by now that life is fun? Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun. Life is fun.
Life is Fun by T for Two, doing an ABOX song from Hope. Great version, actually. I really like that version a lot. And very happy and very honored that they did it. And I don't know if you guys know this or who does or doesn't know this, but that was from an album that is on Bandcamp called Oblivion, which is a tribute album to ABOX, which was, I can't even tell you how amazing it was to see those folks record those tracks and do me a solid. Good stuff, man. Now I'm feeling all nostalgic, but yeah, anyway, it was good. It was really good. And I was listening to some of it today and I was like, I'm going to play two things off of that. And all that. But meanwhile, thank you, Mai. Thank you so much for putting the link in there for me. The Deep Ellum Art Company is now referred to as Artco in Dallas. So it is in Dallas. Nice. Okay. All right. I will look into it because I love playing Dallas. I think that we could probably make that work out. I will have to talk to Robert about it. Yeah, so Here, if you want to look at the album, I just pulled it up myself because it is Bandcamp Fridays. And there is Oblivion. And I did the cover art, by the way. Recreated the Peace album cover, and from scratch, I might add. And has good stuff on there. Eloquent, Cosmicity, Christopher Anton, T for Two, Freeze Pop, Theater People, Eminent Soul, Mind Machine, Darwin McD, Royal Visionaries, Pacific Deep. So much good stuff in there, man. Definitely give that one a little bit of a go. It's actually gotten popular. It keeps popping up on my radar that, people are still picking it up, which is great. I love that. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm going to play 2 tracks from it tonight, before the night is over. And so one of my, so I guess we're going to start talking about, since the chat is talking a lot about 4th dimension stuff, I'll explain. There's been dreams where I find myself in an area that in a book I read, let me just tell you what I wrote in the chat. There's a book that you can get. It's a classic on the subject. I still think it's one of the best books written on external locales of the human body. It's called Journeys Out of the Body, by Robert Monroe. And in that book, he describes different locales. Locale 1 in his book is basically the here and now. So you leave the body while you're asleep and you're having a dream. You're outside of your body and you're in your own house, or you're in your own neighborhood just walking around, disembodied like a ghost. You're in locale 1. Locale 2 seems to be a place where things can be discombobulated and dimensions sort of interact with each other. Not to be confused with just weird dreams. It has definite locations, so you can visit the same places over and over again, but you may find that they get populated or repopulated with different beings. So it's a really strange concept. But I was always curious about those types of dreams because I would have them, for lack of a better explanation, I would have them with no apparent reason. So in other words, if I watch a horror movie and then I have a dream that's got elements of the horror movie, I can point to the horror movie and say, oh, it must have influenced what I'm dreaming. Or if you went to the circus and then after the circus you had a car accident. So you have this weird dream where clowns are chasing you and you have to get away in a car or something. That kind of stuff is going to occur when you are influenced by the outside world during the day. But what happens when you're not thinking about any of those things, but you find yourself in this dream world where these very spectacular events are happening, but they have no bearing whatsoever on what your waking life was about? Like when you wake up, not only do you remember everything, oh, sorry, I lost the chat. Not only do you remember everything, but you are aware that some of these things you've seen before and you can account for them in previous visits. No mushrooms involved. Although I will say that even the most benign mushrooms that you eat in a salad will have a definite influence on your dream. Think I'm joking? Eat mushrooms for one night, just regular mushrooms. Saute them, eat them, and I bet your dreams will be weird because they definitely open pathways that we're not aware of. So even though I've not tried the other mushrooms, I can honestly say that mushrooms seem to have an effect on the dreams. But I will. Russell Targ, huh? But when it comes to Robert Monroe, his book was so controversial and so groundbreaking at the time that the CIA themselves did a full investigation on him and his techniques to getting to those locales, and they tried to train army folk to go there because this is how they did their training for remote viewing. And if you think I'm joking, the document is still there. You can go get it on the as a FOIA request. And the controversy is that a certain page is missing that details a very important event of something they saw there, probably Dimension 17, that scared the living bejesus out of them, and they decided to close the whole thing down. And part of Stranger Things took a little inspiration from that particular document. But yeah. The men who stare at goats, cloud busting. Nice. Okay, I will check it out for sure. So whenever I'm drawing is when I seem to go into those weird locales, and for some reason, like I can blank out, and then 15 minutes later I have drawings in front of me, and this is what happens. It's kind of the way it goes when I'm in the studio, but I digress. It does happen. Now, the scientifically minded folks will say that, in fact, I can't even do it without keeping I can't do it with a straight face. The scientific folks will say a non-local aggregation-diffusion model with multiplicative noise exists, proving the local existence and uniqueness of strong solutions in higher dimensions. That's what you're experiencing. Oh, I thought it was just a weird dream. Ooh, I'm going to go see that. The Men Who Stare at Goats. Ooh, I'm gonna go look at that. That's going to be a movie I'll track down for the weekend. Thank you, Raul. That's a nice suggestion there. But yeah, supposedly in Locale 2, the area where you meet is always the same. So it seems to be a place where these dimensions sort of intertwine. And the reason he called it Locale 2 was because he could, every time he went back, he would find his way around as if it were a neighborhood. And I have had that experience in dreams. And so when I read that book, I was like, oh my God, is this what's going on here? Am I visiting this place? Because I would have these really strange dreams of a neighborhood that is familiar to me in the dreams, but has no bearing on my real life. So, and I would visit this neighborhood often, and it's about as crazy of a place as you can imagine. There's robots, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So I was very surprised to read not just his book and see that stuff. I was even more impressed when I read the CIA documents and found that a lot of the remote viewers were seeing the same things I was seeing. And I found that really interesting and intriguing. So, but for years, I kind of didn't want to, you don't want people to think you're crazy. So I never would talk about it. Like I would never say like where the visual side of things came from, because I was worried that people would be like, well, it's just, you're cuckoo nuts. And maybe I am. But now that I'm going to be 60, I don't care. It's this weird thing. In 3 more years, I get to retire and I won't care. Like, I won't care what anybody thinks, as long as, I can pay the bills, who cares? So at any rate, I have been to Locale 2 many times. In fact, I had a doozy of a dream last night where I was in Locale 2. And it was funny. I was given a message. Yeah, it's so funny. Printer, that's funny. At 65, you get to fart in public. Well, yeah, I think I've done that already, though. But I think I've done it as, well, it would be terrible to tell you the pranks that I've played. But I tend to be a prankster. So I have a prankster streak in me. Kept me together with my brother, and it gets even worse. So, yeah. So, let's see. Raul says on Facebook, the movie is with George Clooney and Jeff Bridges, based on real accounts of the same topic. Tends to be on the funny side, but it's decent. Worth checking out. From documentaries from Caroline Corey. I think you would love her. She goes into those topics, and she does great research. I believe her movie Superhumans is on Prime. Cool. I will check it out for sure. Denise says, what about it going the opposite way where the CIA can give us the dreams? Well, this is the interesting part. I'm glad you brought it up, Denise. It's very interesting that you should bring that up out of all the topics to bring up, because I didn't bring it up and I wasn't going to. But in those very documents, in those CIA documents, they talk about this. Their idea was, could we do the opposite? Could we take, and I'm not even talking about the MK stuff, but could we take stuff that we find in Locale 2 and beam it back to citizens, like through their televisions? Yes, through their televisions. And so it's funny that they were talking about this stuff back in the day. So I know, like they haven't. Mandela effect. Yeah, I'm a believer. I'm definitely a believer. Because I've seen really odd things that I cannot explain. And the fortunate thing is that I write everything. Like, I literally journal every single day. So one of the things I love to journal is incongruencies that I see. And so when I feel that things are incongruent, I will write it down. So I'll tell you one thing that's kind of bizarre. That's always, again, it's that weird thing. We're fed the stuff through all this media and all this technology. So if they were thinking about this in the 60s, going on into the 70s, and doing this, what Joseph on Facebook called client-side scanning, if they were trying it out then, can you imagine the technology they have now? Yep. Quantum wave function collapse. All possibilities exist all at the same time until the most expected outcome collapses the wave, and poof, we have reality. Indeed, that's when the static wave becomes the dynamic one. That's what I think. So interesting. I like where this is going. Oh, Iris says, just joining in, but can't do it with flickering fluorescent lights. Is it my lights that are doing that? Or what is it? Is it you can see flickering lights on mine? Or but yeah, well, flickering lights are interesting because they go into very specific frequencies. So well, that's what the aliens told me while I was on mushrooms. That's funny. Well, this is funny. I'm going to tell you my Jesus story because it's a funny one, since you mentioned Jesus on the stream. So Jesus is being mentioned on the stream. So I had a dream once where it was very profound for me, where I was walking through, again, Locale 2. And as I was walking through Locale 2, I saw what I thought was Jesus sitting on a bench. And I thought, oh my God, is it really Jesus? Like, it's Jesus sitting on a park bench in Locale 2. So in the dream, I walked up to him and I sat down and I just said, so you're Jesus? And he looks at me and he says, yeah. And I'm like, can I ask you something? And then he puts his hand up to say, I'm here to give you a message. And he looks at me and he says, look, I can't believe you made me come all the way here to sit on this bench to tell you this. But here's the thing. Here's your lesson. You need to learn patience. That's it. You just got to learn patience. Does that answer your question? And I was like, yeah, it does. Because I was going to ask him, like, why does everything take so long? Why does everything take so long? So anyway, yeah, that was my Jesus dream. And I've had another one with him in it, which was funny. He was in a movie theater and I sat next to him and he gave me a message. So I think those things are interesting. But I've also had complete strangers give me messages in dreams that later I will meet in real life. And I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, I know that person. I saw that person in locale too. It's strange, man. I can't explain it. But I think it's because I focused on radio frequencies when I was young, and I loved hearing white noise on the radio. Like, it's something I actually really loved. I used to have a radio that, and I still have one that does that here, but I loved shortwave because I love the little blippy noises, which is probably what had an influence on me going into electronic music, because you can make weird noises like that with this stuff. So, but I remember being really young and listening to the weird noises and white noise that would, coalesce on the TV, and I would do it for radio too. And my dreams used to be just wild. And of course, add to that migraines with auras, and it's a recipe for TMT Mixes says, we don't get to know his message from the movie theater. You really want to hear that one? Oh, it's a long one, man. That's a long, complex dream. But it's okay. It happened in locale too also. So I guess I should tell you. But I'll have to play a song first. Let's see. I'm going to play one from the diary. Called My First Kiss. True story. Lyrically. And I'll be right back. And then I'll tell you the other dream with Jesus in it. It was very odd. It's a time travel dream. It's crazy. But anyway. First Kiss from Separate, which is the diary, which is not on Bandcamp. None of the diary stuff is on Bandcamp, which really makes me mad because I should just do that, put it on Bandcamp, but it requires a mastering session of sorts. But I digress. At this rate, I'm going to be tossed. But, so... wait. I missed something. What? No, never mind. So, this other dream was really bizarre. And this was one where I knew I was in locale 2 for sure. It's complex. So I'm gonna try to like simplify it as much as I can, but I'm gonna tell you that this was a real experience. I lived through it. It was freaking bizarre. So in the dream, I'm in a movie theater and it's some weird landscape fly through video. In other words, the video is just basically what you would call an aerial view of just mountains and things, and it's just moving, and it's just a weird film on a screen. And I'm the only person in the theater. And then I look to my left and there's Jesus again. And he says, I have a job for you. And I'm like, what's the job? Just making conversations. I mean, you're not gonna question the deities, right? So I'm like, what's the job? And he's like, there's this man who has not spoken to his son in years, and your job is to get them to talk. And that's your job. And if you're able to complete that job, you'll be brought here, right back here. And I was like, just like that? I'm like, well, how will I know? He's like, you're going to know. And poof, now I am in a different area of whatever this place is. And there's an old man waiting at this bus stop. And the minute I see him, I know he's the right person that I'm supposed to connect with his son. But for whatever reason, I have to find out more about who his son is and whatnot. So I make conversation with him, and I'm sitting there talking to him. And he explains that he's on his way to possibly talk to him, but they haven't spoken in years. And so I say, can I go with you? Can I come with you? I think that I can help. And he gives me this look almost to say, like, who the hell are you? Kind of, that kind of a look, like you're a total stranger. I don't tell him why, but I just say, look, I just have a feeling is he my age? And he's like, yeah, he's more like your age. I'm like, well, maybe he'll understand if it's coming from someone like me. What happened? And they'd had some sort of falling out. So we took a bus, or as I remember it, some sort of transportation. We get to this house, and I go ahead and I knock on the door, and I'm like, are you so-and-so? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I need to talk to you about your dad. And he's like, has he passed? He's worried. And I'm like, no, he hasn't passed. I'm like, but why aren't you guys talking? And he explains that basically it's the most common, dumbest thing that happens between parents and children, which is, you didn't do what I said you should do, and you didn't go into the business I said you should go into, or you didn't do the studies that you should have studied. And I'm mad at you because you've made your life a mess of this, or this, that kind of thing. It's the typical thing that happens, except some people just get over it, argue, and, realize, the parent realizes the kid has grown up and is an adult, and the adult realizes my dad just wants the best for me, and, yada, yada, you know how that works. But in the dream, I'm talking to this guy, and then I say to him, well, your dad's outside. He came here on a bus and I really think you guys should talk. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm like, look, he was willing to come here and talk to you. And I'm like, and you're talking to me and you're telling me what happened. I think it's time. And so he walks out. And wait. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. So, sorry. Anyway, they start talking. And I think to myself, oh my God, I did it. They're talking. They're talking. I'm like, you hear that? They're talking. And then just like that, I'm back in the movie theater. And he basically Jesus looks at me and says, good job. You did a good job. And I was like, it didn't feel hard. I'm like, it seemed natural. Like, and he's like, yeah. He goes, that's what it's all about. You need to make it. This is what it's about. So then he turns to me, Jesus, and he says, I want to give you something, a little gift. Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, I can send you anywhere you want to go. Tell me where you want to go. Like, where would you like to go right now? And for some reason, in that funny, I'm in a movie theater sitting next to Jesus, I say to him, send me back in time. 1962, 1963, I don't know, something like that. And take me to a Beatles rehearsal. This is what I said. Take me to a Beatles rehearsal that I can watch them play and do something together. And gosh darn it, that is exactly where he sent me. So I'll play a song, and when we come back, I'll tell you the rest of that dream because it's pretty crazy. And in fact, I'll even play the song that finally, that came out of that dream, because a song came out of that dream too, which is funny. But anyway, and I think I've told this story before. I might have embellished a little more this time, or remembered more, as I should say, because as I get older, the details get fuzzier and fuzzier, which means I should write them down, shouldn't I? This is called Need. This was for Dylan Rose, which I hope he's still on. But yeah, he requested Need, and this is a weird mix of Need. This is the drum box version, so it has a little bit of weirdness in it. I'll turn on the overheads, and then I'll go look for the other song that I have to play. So, so there I was, like I said, in the movie theater, back in the movie theater, and he asks me, where do I want to go? And I decide in that split second of a moment, which is, of course, I could have gone anywhere, but for whatever reason in the dream, I chose to go to a Beatles rehearsal. And it was a warehouse. I don't know if this is true, but it was some sort of warehouse, and they were rehearsing a quick run through in San Francisco, by the way, for Candlestick Park, which was the last Beatles show. And that's interesting to me, but it was their last show. And so wherever I was watching them rehearse, and it was incredible. And I got to talk to all of them. And so because it's my dream, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm starting to become aware that I'm in locale 2, and that I can, that I can interact with these people, and I can be myself. Basically, I said to Paul, yeah, I'm a time traveler. I'm from the future. I got granted I was able to come here and watch you play, basically. And he thought it was really funny. And he's like, oh, come off it, and I'm like, no, this is really the truth. So he brings me over to the other 3, and he's like, get a load of this one. He says he's from the future. He's from the future. And so they're all like thinking it's, they're just taking the piss out of me, which is really funny because they're just enjoying it because they think he's probably on drugs, which was really funny. But what was crazy was John doesn't laugh, and he's like, so you're from the future, eh? And he's like, tell me, what happens to me? And I froze, and I'm like, well, look, and I started to explain, like, because I don't want to tell him you get shot in the future. And it's one of those interesting things about, quote, time travel. What are you going to reveal? Like, what good is it to reveal the information, right? Because what's supposed to be is supposed to be. At least these are the things going around in my head. And then he says to me, you know what? Don't tell me. The truth is what it is. And just like that, the whole thing was over and I was back. But that phrase stuck with me. The truth is what it is. And I was working on diary stuff at that time, and I thought, I think I need to have a song that tells this story somehow, or that at least hints to it. So I've always like thrown bits of the dream stuff into ABOX songs, but they come in like little snippets. I never like full on tell you the whole thing, but I'll use it as an abstract device, I guess we're talking songwriting, but you know what I mean. It's sort of like, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I am going to say, I met John Lennon and he said, blah, 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 And so I thought I have to have that in a line in a song somewhere. So I wrote that in my journal, and I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So yeah, it did happen. And so that's how this next song was written. So I'm going to play it, and then, it'll take us into the next bit of the thing. And it is one of the odder ones on that record, in fact. But I actually like this song a lot. If I had a whole punk band going, I would probably like playing this song live. But yeah, and so true to its name, the truth is what it is. And then I'll come back. Here, you can watch. Here, we'll do the little man going crazy again, because he likes to be. He's been going crazy this week with all my requests, unfortunately. The little man's kind of been like this all week.
You will never understand me, and I will explain. I was drowning in the water, and I'm not on someday. All I wanna do is settle down, and I wanna save the world. I was born across the ocean, where I looked up at the stars. I can see that in my dreams, like a mirror still. All the swirling galaxies tell me truth exists. You will never understand me, that's why I'm alone. I was drowning in a lake a long, long time ago. I had a dream about John Lennon. He told me truth is what it is. I was born across the ocean, where the lonely people live. You will never understand me, that's why I'm alone. I was drowning in a lake a long, long time ago. Then I started drawing pictures, started making songs, trying real hard to find an answer. Hope it comes along. I hope it comes along. I hope it comes along. This is a story of my life. When I was 12, it is so true. I thought I would die, but I lived. Everything seemed to be okay, but all the world is facing up. Everything is so fucked up, but now I think that I'm okay, 'cause you're right here with me today, today.
Switch to decaf, little Claude. That's funny. Oh, man. Everything is so... Yes. Oh, man. But yeah, anyway. So Locale 2 has been a place I visit quite a bit. And sometimes good experiences there, sometimes not so good experiences there. But interestingly enough, because I guess the stress of making the album, on the visual side, I've been visiting it much more often lately, and the dreams have been even weirder. So the cool thing is that I get to document it all, which is kind of cool. But I still have to be the one doing the stuff. So anyway, it's been crazy trying to keep up with all the art stuff this week. And in fact, I don't even think I checked on the CD today. And its whereabouts and Spotify to make sure that the album got accepted. And that's even another thing I have to kind of look into. So yeah, so it's winding down to the last bits of finishing. And hopefully next week I'll have a more cohesive stream where, we're not... Well, who knows? Maybe next week I will bring you to Locale 2. Maybe I'll just show you Locale 2. I don't know if I can do that. Can I do that? Is that possible? I do bring things back. Anyway, I'm talking crazy talk. It is... Sammy says, Locale 2 is part of your subconscious. It is, but it's not. It is non-local. It doesn't appear to be in the same vein as my subconscious because it has recognizable buildings and streets and places that I visit. And they're not places that I've been to. So it's a little on the... I would argue that it's not quite part of the subconscious. I would say the subconscious connects to it, which is why the CIA was so interested in it. Sky on YouTube says, "Is this actually anything box? This crazy person talking?" Yeah, it is. It is indeed. So yeah, I'm the crazy anything box guy. But yeah, I know dreams can be very, plain and simple. Sometimes they're epic and crazy and surreal. But oh, thank you. No, the honor's mine. But the reality of it is they can be very informative and very useful. So I find it refreshing visiting those places to, find new interesting things to write about, So pay attention to your dreams, not just the ones you have in real life, because they're interesting. They're interesting all the time. So I've got, I think we have just enough time because we have 2 songs left to play. So I'm just gonna rifle through them so that you get music instead of me talking about weird things, because I think I'm getting weirder by the second. It must be this. Sure, I'll blame it on that. Sure, blame it on that, Claude. But this was I don't know if did I play this last week? It was supposed to be. Oh, shoot. I don't know. I can't remember if I played this last week or not because it was on the playlist, but this one has a deal with dreams too. Except this one was real life. So let me give you the skinny on this one because it's a funny one. It's a funny demo, but it does reflect a dream. This was during the lockdown, and I had set up a bit of a digital modular thing. And the idea was that I would go to this park and I would work on these modular units there, since I could do it on my headphones and kind of be far away from people because, you weren't supposed to go outside and all this crap. And of course, me being me, I was outside all the time. So I wanted to go outside, and I was in the park by myself, basically, most of the time. And so I kind of started doing this thing where I would write my demos out there and just record using the microphone that was built into the Mac, and nothing fancy. But Reactor has a way of recording itself. And so that was kind of cool because I could set up a modular patch, play on the keyboard, but also record everything that was coming in from the outside world. And but you had to do it on the fly because you couldn't do it and then mix it later. So it's not a DAW recording by any stretch of the imagination. So you'll notice that the music and voice ratio is not quite right, and, that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. So this was about a dream that I'd had where I was falling off of a mountain. But it reflected some of the things that were going on during that time. So, it's that sort of thing. Dylan Rose says, I wouldn't trust someone who isn't a bit weird. Good, because I'm plenty weird. So, yeah. Oh, what have you guys been talking about here? Oh, Need? Yeah, Need's on Electrodelica. Sorry. I didn't see that. But anyway. So here it is. I had a nightmare. For this one, yeah, visuals. No, maybe the UFO cam. Why not? Lets people know what's going on. I woke up from a dream. to my death from the mountain top. It was the oddest thing, because I was smiling. It was the oddest thing, because I was smiling. Then I woke up and I realized the nightmare is very rare. No one is smiling now. At least I can tell. No one is smiling now. At least I can tell. No one is smiling now. I can tell. I had a nightmare. It's funny because you can hear the park noises. This will prove to be important later. So I just gave you a clue. But yeah, just keep that in your head. That a lot of things that I sometimes I've been doing lately have been real time. It's a different process because, well, first of all, it was a big mistake to do it that way because when I went back to try to recreate the thing, I couldn't because none of the sounds were kept because they're all real time. So they come, they get processed, they go in while I'm playing, and then they disappear. And so there's no patch being made. There's nothing that can be like saved as like, you know, it's a weird situation when you do that kind of stuff. But I like the textures you get. So I've been trying to figure out a way to do it where I can at least put it or record it straight into the DAW, save that part, and I can sing to them later or sing over, at least have the mic on a different track. Whereas when I was in the park, it was a quick way of doing things, but it was a good lesson because it yielded like, I don't know, 40, 50 ideas for songs, but, ooh, tell me, biggest deja vu. But, so, we're getting near the end. So obviously, we don't have much time left. So instead of just me talking, I'm gonna just say that, thank you for the patience. I know the, the topic is a little like out of hand this week too. I'm trying really, really hard to stay on top of things, but obviously the album and its demands are really, really what I have to focus on, because obviously shows are going to come and then it gets harder to do that. So I want to try to finish everything. But just so you know, the album is on time so that the CD version, Spotify, and all that stuff, it will hit on September 6th, which is not only my birthday. I'm going to tell you that right now. September 6th is my birthday. So the album hits on my birthday. We will have a listening party on Bandcamp on my birthday before the stream, and then I'll have a stream after that. And, so that, you'll get to hear it all and all that stuff. And that's it. So at least where we're at. The book is taking longer because it is a much more complex thing, but I'm hoping to be done with it mid-September so that by October we have the book. I'm hoping that I'll have the book in time for November. I don't think there's any way, unless I can really bend time more than I already have, to get the book done by my birthday, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my darndest to do it as much as I can. But, yeah, I've been pulling hours, man. Been pulling the hours. So, but I'm telling you, I have a feeling that this one's going to be well liked for what it is. Raul, you brought up an interesting point. And I don't want to disappoint you, but this particular book doesn't have photos. Or at least it may have one or two, but it focuses more on art because the songs and the lyrics, they called for a different approach. So this isn't like the Hope book where, the Hope book was all about like, this was the old design for the blah, blah, blah. This is us when we were young and, all that kind of stuff. This one doesn't go in that direction because since the material, it's older material that's been re-recorded. So that is true. There are some drawings and things that are from the older eras, but it's more focused on being an album. So it's not going to have as much of the photograph stuff in it. But the art is interesting enough, I think, that kind of pulls it through. It's done, if I can give you a hint, think of a book you're not supposed to have that you will have, but you're not supposed to have it. So take that as the premise. And I will tell you I will tell you other things that are interesting that I'll be able to fill you in on later, but it's interactive and it's meant to evolve. So there are things that are there that will evolve in time. And so it'll be a fun thing to do with all of you. And all of you will get to mess with it. So it is very interesting in that sense. There's going to be stuff you interact with. And that's why it's so complex. So yeah, so it's kind of like that too. Well, like J Money says, the Hope book was fun, especially to know about the face. Yeah, exactly. The Claudenomicon. No, not quite, but maybe. But this will be a little bit more fun. And there's an interesting thing about this book will hark back to the Hope book a little bit. Let me put it to you this way. One of the signatures, one of them that I signed on one of those books that were sold. So I have no idea whose signature it is, like whose book this is, but I scanned one. I scanned actually about 4 or 5 signatures, but I scanned one that is part of the artwork that's going to be inside the book. So someone who owns the Hope book is going to be like surprised. That's like, oh my God, that's my autographed book. So there's some interesting things that are going to be like harking back and forth in time. So you'll see like some of that, but it's a little bit more cohesive of a story this time, because it's not just, well, not to say that the Hope book was bad in any way. It's not that. It's just it doesn't have the retro factor because it's not really going back in time. It's going forward in a weird way. So, if anything, it has stuff in it that's not even released yet. So you'll see. You'll see. I think you'll have fun with it. But I could be wrong. Maybe you guys will hate it. Like, I have no idea. I just know I'm having fun with it. That's all I can hope for, right? So anyway, I'm going to play the last song now. And with that one, I will say goodbye. I promised you we're going to hear Kiss of Love twice. And I love that, Steve. ABOX, I can't even say it. ABOX ellipse now. Oh, yeah, since I can't say it, other verses will have to do. But here you go. This is the last track, and it's Kiss of Love, done by theater people. And you'll catch me here next Friday. Yeah, of course. By the way, so Sky on YouTube says, do you stream often? I do. Every Friday at 8 o'clock is when I try to do it. And we've been doing this since the lockdowns. So we're going on year 4, man. It's crazy. I don't even know how I'm doing this, because it honestly makes me more nervous than doing shows. So, but no, I think I like the Claudenomicon better. Oh, that's so funny. That's a Claudism for sure. That's funny. But thank you. Thank you so much. So I leave you with Kiss of Love by Anything Box, covered by theater people. Thank you. And yeah, we'll leave the UFO cam on. And I'll start shutting stuff down.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?